I have a question from one of our sibling survivors. And for those of you that are new here, a sibling survivor is a survivor of a narcissistic parent. And we call ourselves siblings because the patterns of abuse are so the same. I don't even want to say similar anymore, across the board, that it's like we all grew up in the same home, a bunch of siblings who were also the scapegoats. Anyway, I have a question from one of our survivors, and anyone who's out there that could provide an answer to this would be greatly appreciated, because I'm sure this is not the only person out there who has this same question. So let's get into it, shall we? Is there a way for an adult child of a narcissistic parent to make sure their narcissistic parent doesn't have a life insurance policy on them? And just as a little side note, this question particularly resonated with me. I am very sure my mother doesn't have a policy on me, because I am so out there with talking about my experiences. I've been doing this for well over a decade, that somebody out there would either know or like, she takes calculated risks. Let's put it that way. Plus, she can't find me. So good luck with that. I'm careful. Not that I'm afraid of her, but I just rather never have the experience of her showing up at my doorstep ever again, like she did about 18-ish, almost, we're probably getting closer to 19 years ago. Anywho, it resonates with me, or lives somewhere with me, because my mother had five husbands, counting on my hands, and one domestic partner. It's actually not funny. And out of those six people who lived with my mother, four of them did not survive her. Two of them divorced her. One of them died of cancer. So that means 50% of them died without like a legitimate reason, in my mind, as far as I know. And there were definitely life insurance policies with the domestic partner. There's been something filed as a handwritten will, which looks very suspect to me, which was also notarized by somebody who she knows as a friend, which you're not supposed to do that. In fact, from my understanding, and correct me out there, anyone who can do this please let me know. In the state of Florida, it's my understanding that if you are friends with the notary and have a personal relationship with them, they can't legally notarize a document for you. Also, the handwriting looks a lot like my mother's, so there's a whole thing there. All this to be said, I also know for a fact that my mother was involved in the death of my first stepfather. I was 12 years old at the time, and there's police reports that have a lot of discrepancies, particularly with regard to time. Statements my mother made that were blatant lies. They never questioned me. They didn't know I was in the house. My mother made sure that they didn't think that I was around, kind of thing. She made my brother complicit, who was just a teenager at the time. So there's a whole thing there. And when we're talking about narcissistic parents, and my mother is a sociopath and a narcissist, we are talking about people who are capable of anything, except for good things. Let me take that off the table. So anyway, for all my peeps out there, sibling survivor, not sibling survivor, is there a way that we can search our names or find out or have a notification system in place if somebody, even outside of our own narcissistic parent, takes out a life insurance policy and makes themselves or someone that they want, someone close to them, because they might hide it that way, a beneficiary? Thank you in advance for your help. I appreciate you all for being here.